What's going on? Rocking and rolling here on a Friday. TGIF edition of the show. Hottest show on the streets here, talking your Bama football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. We're coming to you from Alumni Hall as we do each and every Friday during football season. Music here is outstanding. Coming right here to you from Alumni Hall. As always, we want you to hit that subscribe button. Get everybody that you know, every friend, family member, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Tide football to hit that subscribe button. Like the show as well. Give us that thumbs up right there. Like the show. Share it to everybody that you know. Get with us right here. But in my own words, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Definitely want to hear from you guys on this evening. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. But I'm going to call in to let your voice be made on the show, be made known on the show. 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. We want to hear from you. That daily super chat go $100 daily. Super chat go $100 right there. We appreciate all of you. But got my man John Ivory in the production studio. We're going to start into the first topic of conversation. This is Bama, Texas. Matchup Saturday. Everybody in Tuscaloosa. You got College Game Day in here. You've got Paul Feinbaum in here. You got Pat McAfee in here. Everybody's in Tuscaloosa right now. It's ants on a bone inside Bryant-Denny as we are right here at Alumni Hall. But we begin the first topic of conversation, people, with one Jalen Milroe, quarterback here for your Crimson Tide. He's got a chance to really show the entire world who he is and what he's about on a national scale, on a national stage. I mentioned every national media pundit is in Tuscaloosa. Whether it's ESPN, whether it's Feinbaum, whether it's Pat McAfee, doesn't really matter who it is. Every national media pundit is in T-Town. And after the performance that Milroe had just a week ago, 13 for 18 passing, 190 yards, 5 touchdowns, became the quarterback in Alabama history to have 3 touchdown passes, 2 touchdown runs in the same against MTSU. Now, against a much better opponent, now with every national media pundit in the palm of his hands, he's got a chance to let everybody know he's a bad man. Here is his opportunity to let everybody know he's a bad man at that quarterback position. Now, Milroe grew up a Texas fan. His idol growing up just so happens to be Vince Young. That was the very first jersey that Jalen Milroe had. Was a Vince Young jersey. So now he is going up against the alma mater of his idol. He's going up against the alma mater of Vince Young. And he's got a chance to show the Texas faithful out there that he's got a lot of Vince Young in his game. We all know what Vince was able to do: run the football well, throw the football well, create plays, create magic. We all remember the 2005 ECS National Championship season, which ended in the game between Texas and USC. Horns got the win there. There's a lot of things that Jalen Milroe does well. You can compare that to one Vince Young. What's crazy is today, Pat McAfee actually compared Milroe to another college football legend, that being Heisman Trophy winner, former Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson. That is what Pat McAfee said earlier today. He looks at Milroe as a guy that does similar things to what Jackson was able to do during his time prior to him now being in the NFL with the Baltimore Ravens. So, Milroe is going to have all eyes on him to create a performance that will never be forgotten. He's entered this game poised. He's entered this game focused. He's entered this game not bought into the hype, to the noise, to the quote-unquote rat poison that Coach Saban likes to use there. He's entered this game with the mindset of following my job, doing my assignment, reading my keys, and just playing football. So it's going to be fun to watch Milroe under the lights here. Bryant-Denny taking on Texas. He's from the Lone Star State. Everybody's in Tuscaloosa. Here is his chance to show everybody I'm the real deal, truly, at the quarterback position. And I think he will do that. Coach Saban has mentioned throughout this week of practice about how much this young man has grown as a leader, how much he has grown as a quarterback, how much he has grown as a complete player and a complete playmaker. So my eyes will be on Milroe inside Bryant-Denny tomorrow. 6 p.m. Central Time kickoff. Bryant-Denny, ESPN has the call on the game. Joe Namath is the guest picker, former Alabama quarterback Joe Namath. So all eyes will be on Milroe. I'm pumped for that. We go to our first break here, folks. We'll touch that dial. When we come back, we go to the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We'll hear from you. As we're checking in from Alumni Hall, the crown jewel here at Tuscaloosa. We'll be back with you guys after this.
This is Matt Caddell, former Alabama wide receiver, and you're listening to In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith with Touchdown Alabama Magazine. And I got 2 words to say, baby. Roll Tide.
9 players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, people, we're back into the action right here from the break on the hottest show on the streets, #1 forum for your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, as we're live here from the crown jewel of Tuscaloosa. No, not Bryant-Denny, even better, Alumni Hall, right here in Midtown Village. Appreciate every one of you, every last one of you, checking out the show here on today. And we got to give a shout out to Reaver R with that $3 donation in the Super Chats. Reaver R helping us out here, showing love on the show. Now, before we go to the phone lines to grab your calls, call segment brought to you by the Blue Ridge Gang. Gotta give a shout out here to our sponsor, today's show, sponsored by BetterHelp. Sponsored by BetterHelp. Sometimes in life we're faced with tough choices, and the path forward isn't always clear. Whether that's a quarterback having to make a quick decision in the pocket, or a coach dialing up a play on 3rd down, a football player is making many tough choices throughout a game. And in life, that may be dealing with decisions around a career, relationships, or anything else. Therapy helps you stay connected to what you really want while you navigate life, so you can move forward with confidence and excitement. Trusting yourself to make decisions that align with your values is like anything. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. Clarity is hugely important when making decisions, and that can come when talking things through with someone. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Let therapy be your map today with BetterHelp. You visit BetterHelp.com/TDA today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com to get 10% off your first month. TDA. This is brought to you, this show, brought to you by BetterHelp. But we go to the phone lines now to grab your calls, 205-448-1358. The number to call in, 205-448-1358. You're live on the show. What's going on? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
A big roll tide from Coleman. Steven, how we doing? It's Chris with Ballard Sports Media.
Doing great, my man. Chris, how we feeling?
Dude, I'm going to have to work during the game, but I'll keep a close eye on the scoreboard, but I'll say this. I'm nervous about this matchup because I know the joke is in college football in recent years is, well, the Big 12 doesn't have much defense. Well, Texas isn't necessarily the Big 12. They're in the Big 12. But I'm going to say this. I understand they played Rice last week. Alabama played Middle Tennessee. This is a first test for both of these teams, for both quarterbacks, for offensive line, for defenses. I was looking at the Texas stats from last week. They have some dudes on that defense. Malik Muhammad is a defensive back who has 5 tackles. You have 2 sacks total from last week's game. You had Ethan Burke, watch him off the edge. Byron Murphy in the middle of that defensive line, and David Benda is a linebacker. So don't take that defense too lightly, Alabama fans. I'm telling you, this can be a good game. And do you think it's possible, Steven? This is my question. If that defense finds a way to get to Milroe, is it possible, and I really hate to say this, and it's possible I catch some heat, is it possible he gets benched and you look at it as we need to switch it up on offense and we give Tyler Buckner a shot?
I think, Chris, that will come down to if there's turnovers in the matchup. And I see where you're coming from with if Texas is able to get to Milroe. We know the defensive line coach for Texas is Bo Davis. And Bo Davis at one point in time was in Tuscaloosa doing a lot of things with Alabama's defensive line. So I see exactly where you're coming from here. But I would look at it as if turnovers happen, then there's a situation where you may probably look away from Milroe. But if Alabama's offensive line can do more of it than hold its own, and Jalen Milroe gets the ball out of his hands quickly, making marquee decisions, but I still see Alabama taking this game. But I do see your point there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I hope it doesn't get to that point, but I mean, Milroe it's not like one pick is going to put him on the bench or a fumble. It's the consistency of mistakes. So if they can clean it up there and, have the discipline, the mental toughness, as Coach Saban always preaches on, if they could have that, he doesn't have to be perfect, but I think he could pull this win off. I love you guys. I love my Alabama Crimson Tide. Going to have to work during the game, but it'll be a good one. I hope everyone enjoys it, man. Big roll tide.
Appreciate my man Chris calling in, Ballard Sports Media out of Coleman. We're going to take this call. You're not on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Stephen Evans, Robert from Mobile.
How we feeling, Rob?
Hey, I'm looking at your thumbnail, and you said Milroe to remind Texas of Vince Young. I think that's a good thumbnail. I think that's the kind of ceiling that Milroe can achieve. The last week's game showed that, hey, your ceiling is higher, than we thought. Last time you started for Texas A&M, you've definitely shown improvement over summer and from the last time you played. And your ceiling has risen to where, dude, that level can be there for you if you just keep on improving and keep on going the direction that you're going. Keep your head where you got it now. Yeah, that's your ceiling. That is your ceiling. Your ceiling has risen to the level of, hey, you can carry this over into Sunday play. Not just college football, playing on Saturdays. You can be a Sunday morning quarterback, as in playing in the NFL on that kind of a level. if he just like you said, it's there. It's there for him to achieve. So there's definitely a good thumbnail you got going on. You know, I think he can achieve that. I think this can get him into the Heisman conversation too. A repeat of last weekend, and I don't see how everybody start looking at him and say, hey, this guy can. Hey, let's start paying more attention to him in the Heisman conversation. He'll have the toughest schedule of anybody who can achieve that in college football. I mean, only Auburn has a tougher schedule than Alabama because Alabama can't play them ourselves. And we have to play, and Auburn has to play Georgia. But we know they're not going to go anywhere. They're not going anywhere. But Milroe, with his schedule and the number of big time games he's got, this being one of them, dude, it's that kind of a level is achievable for you now. And like Nick Saban said, keep focused on the process of getting there, and the outcome will take care of itself. You keep focused on each game and focus on the process, and man, it is there for you. You've shown last weekend that the doubters, which I was one of them, going into this season. I can only go by the information I had last year. And okay, there was a lot of work needed to have been done between last year and now. But hey, man, you came out guns a-blazing this year, and you're showing us doubters that, hey, you may doubt me a little less after this game, and after the Texas game, the doubts will be even lower until the point where, hey, we go from doubts to expectation, which would be really hard on you. Okay, well, you moved us from doubts to expectations. Now it's really going to come, man. You win this Texas game, we move from doubts to expectations. The pressure will really be on, but I think he can handle it. So definitely looking forward to this weekend.
Absolutely. Rob from Mobile calling in right there. We got some Aaliyah and Timberland playing here inside Alumni Hall. Get the vibes here in the building. But like I mentioned, Jalen Milroe's in a spot where he's got the entire nation in the palm of his hands right now. I'm painting the picture. I'm painting the scene for you. You've got ESPN on campus. A lot of people on ESPN were saying Bama doesn't have a quarterback. They haven't named a guy yet. This is not good. Every other program in major Division I college football has their quarterback named except Alabama. You look at Paul Feinbaum is on campus right now. He's saying, well, if Alabama doesn't have a quarterback, can they really compete here for a national championship? You have everybody who's anybody in national media in Tuscaloosa right now. So Milroe's got a chance to literally have a performance to change everybody's mind, or have a performance to where everybody feels like they were right about him from the preseason. He's got a big moment ahead of him, and I feel like he's ready to seize that moment, own that moment, and dominate in that moment. But here's a cool call topic right here, folks. That's a former Alabama quarterback, Mac Jones of the New England Patriots, entering his third season with Bill Belichick. He's been named a team captain. Once again, I don't know if Belichick has finally put his arms around Mac and embraced him as the guy, but he's been named the team captain. The teammates are behind him. The players around him are behind him, so that's a good thing. Mac will take on the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. Mac Jones, Jalen Hurts. Should be a fun, intense venue right there. We're going to go to our break here, folks. We'll touch that down. When we get back, we get to the offensive line. Big game for the offensive line for your Crimson Tide coming up this weekend. We'll talk about why after this.
What's up, Bama Nation? This is Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, and you're listening to my guy, Stephen M. Smith, in my own words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide, roll!
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, baby, we're back in here to the action from the break right here on the number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA, right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, the crown jewel. They got the clothes, they got the gear, they got everything in here. They got everything in here. I wonder if they have a Stephen Smith bobblehead somewhere in here. They probably do. I'm not sure though. But we're back into the action from the break here, folks. Continue hitting that like button, tapping that subscribe button right there. Daily Super Chat go $100. Daily Super Chat go $100 right there. We appreciate the love and the support coming from you. We also have a message board, Touchdown Alabama magazine, touchdownalabama.com, the message board. If you're trying to be in that new wave, new group of fans to help us rebuild or regrow the message board, the link to it can be found in the chat line or in the description. But topic 2 of the conversation, people, Alabama's offensive line. We talked Jalen Milroe. This is a big weekend for Alabama's offensive line. The conversation all offseason has been, we're going to be more dominant, more nasty, more physical, elite play up front, pounding the football, pass protection, making the opponent quit. That's been the message talked about from J.C. Latham to Tyler Booker to Seth McLaughlin on down, and it's been issued out by position coach Eric Wolford. But this is the major test right here. And the reason why this is a major test is there's a Texas analyst that listed the offensive lines on both sides, Alabama and Texas, as the weakness between both teams. But since we're covering Alabama, we're taking this from the Alabama perspective. He listed Alabama's offensive line as a weakness. Huge motivation for Eric Wolford and this group right here to set a nasty, dominant, physical tone early and often. Getting that run game going, getting those running backs going. The reason why, this is a homecoming for 2 defensive coaches on Texas' staff. Bo Davis, defensive line coach, was in Tuscaloosa before, helping Alabama win national championships. He had guys like he produced guys like Jared Reed, and Ashawn Robinson, and Jonathan Allen, and Deron Payne, and Quinnen Williams, and Marcel Darius, Terrence Cody, all of these different guys, Bo Davis produced them at Alabama. And now he's at Texas where he's going to have some things called up. He's going to have some pressure packages down up. He's going to have those guys ready to win their one-on-one matchups against Alabama's offensive line, because Bo Davis is the type of coach that will fire and rip into you and want you winning those one-on-one matchups. But this is not just a homecoming for him. It's a homecoming for defensive grad assistant Nico Johnson, former Alabama linebacker, Alabama native. He's from Andalusia, Alabama. Johnson played for the Crimson Tide 2009 to 2012. We're talking 3 BCS national championships here. And now he's at Texas. So you have a homecoming here for Bo Davis and Nico Johnson. Alabama's offensive line has to come out here with an edge to it. Has to come out with a dominance to it. Has to come out here with a meanness to it. Set a tone early. Set the tone early. The running game's got to play a big factor in this one. Bama's got to be able to run the football. Jase McClellan from Texas had an 81-yard touchdown last season in the same game in Austin. McClellan's got to play a big role in this game. Roydell Williams has got to play a big role in this game. Jam Miller, pass protection, running the football, he's got to play a big role in this game. Jase McClellan, Justice Haynes, get him involved with this game. Richard Young as well. The running backs have to have a huge day against Texas. The best way to stop a physical defense, run it, pound it right at them. Run it right at them, wear them down, lean on them. That's the best way to go about that. Alabama's offensive line, this is a statement game for it. Even after last week, it was the first game of the season against MTSU. Yes, some sacks were given up, but it was not by the offensive line. But still, you're playing Texas, bigger opponent, bigger talent. They're coming in this with nothing to lose at all. Highly confident, highly skilled, ready to go. Alabama from left to right on this offensive line. They've got to come with it and be the aggressors from the first snap on that offensive line. We're going to go to our final break here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we wrap things up by updating you on the Bama secondary. Could we see Malachi Moore and Jalen Key back for this matchup? Coach Saban mentioned it on Thursday's Hey Coach, and we'll wrap things up with the Alabama secondary after this.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Marvin Constant, All-SEC linebacker and 1999 SEC champion. You are listening to In My Own Words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
People, all right, we're back into the action right here from the break. Number one forum for your Bama football news in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA on a Friday TGIF edition of the show. We're coming to you from the Crown Jewel of Alumni Hall right here in Tuscaloosa. People, they got what you need. You got the shirts, you got the clothes, you got the mugs, you got the footballs, you got the music, you got the gear. They got everything in here. Alumni Hall right here in Midtown Village. Bama taking on Texas tomorrow. 6 p.m. Central Time. ESPN has the call on the game. But before we get into final topic of conversation, gotta have a shout out to our next sponsor. The show brought to you by Caldera Lab. Caldera Lab. So first impressions matter. They do. There's no two ways around it. And your face is most likely the first thing that someone notices about you. How your skin looks is going to determine, good or bad, the impression. The impression someone notices, impression. So clinically proven to reduce wrinkles, fine lines, signs of aging. That's what Caldera Lab does. Caldera Lab is the leader in men's skincare and is here to help save the day and your confidence. Use our exclusive code TDA at CalderaLab.com to enjoy 20% off their best products. Caldera Lab creates high-performance men's skincare products, and the regimen is your twice-a-day formula to transform your skin. And the best part, it's super easy. Literally takes 30 seconds in the morning and 30 seconds at night. What products does Caldera Lab offer? Let me tell you about that right there. First off, they give you the clean slate. Starts and ends your day. The face wash leaves all skin types refreshed. Then you apply that base layer right after to moisturize and hydrate your skin. Even better, it absorbs fast, leaving you with a matte finish to start your day confident. Then you got the good. It's your go-to night face serum to round it out. This is clinically proven multifaceted serum that helps your skin look tighter and smoother, as well as helps reduce the visibility of wrinkles and fine lines. So you get 20% off your code by using TDA at CarneroLab.com. That's 20% off CarneroLab.com using the code TDA. You jump into skin and first impression royalty with Carnero Lab. Folks, I've been using it. It's been great for my skin. CarneroLab.com. I've been using the slate, the clean slate, the base layer, the good, all of it. And it has really been phenomenal for me. So CarneroLab.com. Check those guys out. But final topic of conversation here, updating you on the Alabama secondary. We all know Malachi Moore and Jalen Key both got banged up there against MTSU on last week. Saban started off listing both guys as day-to-day. We'd see how they go through practice this week. Both guys have practiced this week. They've been able to do, more with each practice. Saban is pleased with the progress both guys have made. They are listed as game time decisions for Texas. This is a huge matchup. I see both guys playing. I mean, with how critical this matchup is, I see Malachi Moore going through pregame warmups. I see him playing. And I also see Jalen Key playing. I think if both of these two guys are able to move, they're going to play in this football game. This is a critical matchup for both of them. Now, it's good to have a backup plan. That's why you have Earl Little and Christian Story. Saban confident in both of those two. Earl Little, the backup to Malachi Moore at star. Christian Story, the backup to Jalen Key at that free safety position. But I see Key, Moore, they're going to play. If they take that field, they're going to take that field for pregame warmups. I will keep my eyes on both of them. I think they both play. I think they both are ready to play. Saban mentioned that Malachi Moore, the best communicator in the secondary on the back end. Saban also mentioned, Jalen Key, though this is his first season at Alabama, has a lot of experience coming over from UAB as a transfer safety. So I will definitely keep my eyes on both guys on tomorrow, but I see both of these two young men playing in this matchup here against Texas. Critical game here on tomorrow. But as always, folks, you want the best. Well, hold on. Before we get to that, we got some super chats to get to. So how about, is that Ask Bama Girl 26? With a $40 donation. Woo! Ask Bama Girl 26 dropping the love in there. And then we got the man Don Parker with a $5 donation as well. Dropping that love there in the bucket. Appreciate Don Parker and Ask Bama Girl 26 helping us out here on the show. But as always, Tide fans, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage here on your favorite program, that being Bama football. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. Now, you download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. So for your audio needs, check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right now. Right there. For good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll be back in Pound Studios on Monday, continuing the conversation. It's Tide football. Remember, Bama fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Have that sent to your door. That link found in the description. If you're trying to get your hands on the fresh edition, print edition of TDA, the magazine, you go to touchdownalabama.com. You click join, become a member and or a subscriber today. Clay, let's go! $50 donation right there. Dropping the love in the bucket. Jimmy Clay, appreciate the support there coming from him. Gotta show some love to you, the Bama fans, for all the calls, the donations, the love that you show us, making this your show, your spot, your network, your platform to talk Bama. Gotta appreciate my man John Ivory holding it down there in the production studio here. And gotta show some love to the folks in Alumni Hall right here in Midtown. They got everything for you. I mean, I'm telling you, shirts, shorts, pants, football, everything in here. Music, pom-poms, everything is in here. Appreciate Alumni Hall giving us the joy of doing this show from right here. And till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored there and enjoying this weekend. Get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Enjoy the game tomorrow. And until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and this has been In My Own Words.